get to the starting lineup. Sophomore Austin and sophomore Kyle Rosenbach are in there, along with junior Randy Baker, junior Jeffrey Dunker, and senior Mitch Tormolen. For Sheridan, it'll be Reggie Cotton, a senior guard, along with Dalton Kirkpatrick, a senior forward, Kyle Taylor, a junior guard, and Jonathan Cruz and Josh Sierra as well. For Sheridan, opening tip brought to you by Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance, locally in Fort Morgan and Brush, offering home, health, auto, farm, business, and workers' compensation insurance. Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance, controlled by the Beat Diggers, but then they throw it away into the front court of Sierra, and his lob down low is tipped out of bounds. It'll stay with Sheridan. So the Beat Diggers already committing their first turnover less than 10 seconds into the game. And, you know, there's always chemistry issues when you play your first game of the year, Jen.
And there's the first game jitters that happen. You know, you got to figure out where you are. You got the hype going on with the adrenaline, too.
Down low with the basketball for Sheridan is Ruben Ortega, and he misses the shot. The rebound is controlled by Austin Garcia. Here come the Beat Diggers. Dunker into the front court on the outside right, dribbles into the lane, and now is going to dribble it back out. Guarded very closely over there. Very feisty defense for this team. Reggie Cotton right on top of Dunker. On the outside right into the lane, Austin Garcia all the way, scoops it up and in. A strong move by Garcia to the basket. Those are the first points of the season. And the Beat Diggers with a 2-0 lead. Dunker with a steal in the backcourt, but now the ball is loose all over the place. Austin Garcia has it, and now he's on the floor, and he traveled. And it's one of those calls that automatically, when you're on the floor, they're going to call traveling either way, especially if you're sprawling around the floor. It didn't look like too much movement, but nonetheless, the Beat Diggers with this lot of backcourt pressure here. Jonathan Cruz with the basketball into the front court for Sheridan. On the outside right, picked up by Garcia. Cross-court Cotton, three in the air, is off the back of the rim. And the ball is going to be tipped out of bounds by Jonathan Cruz. Beat Digger basketball. If the first minute is any indication, Beat Digger's going to be pretty solid defensively.
I agree. I think that the offense always follows the defense. So, you know, if they start getting picks this early in the game, those are going to lead to baskets later.
By the way, later on, Jen and I will have a Beat Digger player of the game. That'll be following the contest, obviously. Baker at the top to Dunker. Down low, Rosenbrock up and under, scoops it up and in. He got three defenders in the air, and Rosenbrock scores off the glass, and the Beat Diggers lead 4-0. Nearly a minute and a half into the game from Sheridan High School in Denver, and a front court pass is stolen by Dunker. That's two turnovers now for Sheridan. Dunker into the lane, all the way, off the glass, and he's fouled as he will go to the line to shoot two, and the Beat Diggers are not only aggressive defensively, but offensively as well.
Well, and I'm trying to figure out what Sheridan is doing defensively. I think they're trying to do a matchup zone, but stay somewhat man-to-man. I haven't decided yet because there hasn't had enough time to tick off yet. Free
throw is in and out. The foul is committed by Ruben Ortega, the senior forward. Second free throw coming up for Jeffrey Dunker, who's an excellent defender, a very good ball handler, and now he drills the second free throw. And the Beat Diggers are in the lead 5-0. 6:23 to go in the opening quarter. Reggie Cotton in the backcourt pressured. Now to the front court with the basketball is Kyle Taylor. Taylor pressures, throws it out to, I believe that's Cruz, but he's fouled. Mitch Tormolen commits the foul along the baseline. And the Beat Diggers have their first team foul, and Kyle Taylor to throw it in, pressured by Baker. Into the front court to Cruz on the outside left, back out to Reggie Cotton. Cotton with a basketball against Dunker. Beat Diggers in a man-to-man right now. Cotton to his left, cross-court pass to Sierra. Sierra spinning against Rosenbrock at the free throw line, left corner for Cotton. Works on Dunker, backs it out. Here's the 50-footer up and in and out. That was missed over there by Sierra. Austin Garcia has his second rebound for the Beat Diggers. Long pass to Rosenbrock. He banks and misses. Strong side rebound controlled by Kyle Taylor. Taylor into the front court, picked up by Baker. Scoops it out. Right wing three is up and good. And that is Jonathan Cruz who nails the triple. 5:40 to go in the opening quarter. Brush 5, Sheridan 3, as Austin Garcia calls out to play a very young Brush team with only one senior on the court in Tormolen. Left baseline, Rosenbrock, cross-court to Dunker. Tries to get a defender in the air, then the shot is blocked away by Cruz. But saved in by Tormolen, who scoops it over to Rosenbrock, who scores. So that play was all Mitch Tormolen. And here's a steal by Baker. He scoops it up and in the backcourt. Off the glass for Baker. Third turnover there by Sheridan. And the Beat Diggers now have a 9-3 lead. We'll keep it right here as that timeout is called by Sheridan. But this is helter-skelter basketball. And I call it helter-skelter negatively for Sheridan because the pace is too fast for them, Jen.
Well, and when I was looking at their defense, they're trying to do a 2-3 zone, which means 2 at the high, 3 down low. So they're trying to shift, and we have, like I said, that offset with the guards being taller. They're able to slide into those open slots, and it's hard for those shorter guys on the Sheridan team to take control. And then on the other side of it, we're also throwing in a 1-2-2 press, which means Jeffrey Dunker is basically a freelancer. He's playing center field, trying to pick off whatever, get a trap, which he's already done, a couple steals on that press.
Trey Cranston into the game for Brush. You don't have to travel out of town to receive the best, that is, in most advanced hearing healthcare. Visit Platte Valley Hearing Center, 409 East Platte Avenue in Fort Morgan. And now to throw it into the backcourt is going to be Josh Sierra for Sheridan. He gets it into Reggie Cotton. Pressure over there by Cranston. They're still in the backcourt as they throw it around. Into the backcourt still is Cotton. Into the front court now to Cruz. Cruz pulls up from 16. That shot is off the back of the rim. It's tipped around and still tipped around, and it lands in the hands of Kyle Taylor, who tries to throw it in off a beat digger, but Mitch Tormolen has the basketball. And that essentially goes as a turnover for Sheridan. In the left corner, Cranston with the ball. Picks it up top. And there's going to be traveling for Jake Brown, who also checked into the game. And adjustments for Brown because this is essentially his first varsity action.
But he's quick. He's a very quick player.
He demonstrated that on the football field. Reggie Cotton in the backcourt, nearly double dribble, gets it into the front court to Cruz. Now he throws it towards Reggie Cotton. And Cotton is stripped at midcourt by Bryce Stevens. Over to Rosenbrock, left-handed layup is missed. And the ball is rebounded by Cranston. Turns, shoots, scores. Trey Cranston. The Beatnickers getting a lot of second chances, and it's paying off. The Beatnickers are now on a 6-0 run. 11-3 Brush, 4:23 to go in the opening quarter. What a frantic pace. Here's Kyle Taylor right of the lane, all the way. Blocked out of there beautifully by Jake Brown, taken away by Mitch Tormolen. Tormolen to Bryce Needens, dribbles by a defender in the lane. Has to kick it back out to Cranston on the right wing. Cranston at the top now to Needens, and he'll slow it down a bit. Needens dribbles between his legs on the outside right to Cranston, picked up by Cruz. Cranston gets a pick from Tormolen, into the lane, pulls up from 10, and that's off to the left. And the ball is tipped around off the right hand of Jake Brown out of bounds. And the ball goes to Sheridan with 3:55 to go in the opening quarter. Brush 11, Sheridan 3. And has now into the game for Sheridan. Here come the Rams. Thomas with the basketball just beyond midcourt. Tries to scoop it down low off of Bryce Needens, out of bounds, intended for Cruz. And let me tell you, the Sheridan team, lots of sloppy passing.
Well, and I kind of expect that. Whatever that you are used to playing against the same kids all the time, it's different when you face somebody else.
Inbounds pass kicked by Rosenbrock. Sheridan retains possession. So you figure they want to slow the pace down, and the Beatnickers want to increase the tempo. Here's Reggie Cotton, fakes the three, left of the lane against Needens, puts up a shot, and he's fouled as he misses. To the line will be Reggie Cotton to shoot two. Bryce Needens with his first foul. The friendly staff at High Plains Bank in Wiggins is ready to assist you with a home loan, equity line of credit, commercial loan, or checking account. To receive hometown service in a higher plane, visit High Plains Bank today. The first free throw is off the back of the rim. Second free throw upcoming for the left-handed shooter, Reggie Cotton. He bends, he shoots, and it's around and good. That stops a 6-0 run by the Beatnickers, but they hold a 7-point advantage. 11-4 with 3:37 to go in the opening quarter. Needens across midcourt, picked up by Taylor. Jump pass on the outside, left to Cranston. Cranston back out near the top to Needens. Needens dribbling to his left, bodied up by Taylor, picks up the dribble, over to Tormolen, left of the lane, down low pass, tipped away, and it's intercepted. Beatnickers commit their fourth turnover. Here's Taylor with a 2-on-3, has to back it out to Cruz, steps in, 14-footer, is around and no good. Strong side rebound by Kyle Rosenbrock, his first, kicks it out to Needens, long pass, and the layup's up, and missed by Brown. Rebound, Tormolen banks and scores. Tormolen with his first points of the game. I'd say the Beatnickers are beating the Rams down the court, no pun intended. With 3:04 to go in the opening quarter, up by 9, 13-4, and a turnover gives the Beatnickers the ball back. And here's Trey Cranston, left corner, Rosenbrock. Needens will take the three, air ball, rebound to Rosenbrock, dribbles, bounce pass to Tormolen, gets a defender in the air, and he was fouled as he missed. So to the line will be Tormolen. Brayton Thomas commits the foul for Sheridan. And Jen, look at the rebounding situation.
I was
7-2 in favor of the Beat Diggers.
Thinking about that compared to last year, how much they've matured and they're getting in the right position. They're not just jumping over the top of their backs, the opponent's backs, and getting foul trouble.
Free throw is no good. Accidents or illness can strike at any time, day or night. When they do, every second counts. As a level 3 trauma center, Colorado Plains Medical Center is ready to handle any kind of emergency. Colorado Plains Medical Center brings quality care to the community. Second free throw is missed and out of bounds off the Beat Diggers, so Tormola 0 for 2 for the line. But the Beat Diggers still lead by 9 at 13-4. Compton in the backcourt. Now with Damon Chavez into the game. Chavez still with the basketball. I don't know if they're going to get it across, and they do. Here's Tyler down low, and the bank shot is up and in. Check that. That's Taylor to Jonathan Cruz, who's got 5 points. The Beat Digger lead is down to 7, 13-6. Left of the lane, lead shoots, misses off the glass. Ball is tipped around, and a foul committed by Sheridan as Kyle Rosenbrock came down with a rebound. That's already his third. And the Beat Digger is going to make massive substitutions. Damon Chavez commits the foul. That's the third team foul for Sheridan. The Beat Diggers with 2. Garcia back in with Randy Baker, Jeffrey Dunker, as well as Ben Mickey. And there's the entry pass, tipped away, intercepted by Reggie Cotton. And the 5th member out there is Jacob Nichols. Here's the shot. It's missed by Cruz in the lane. Rebound to Garcia. Garcia to Dunker. Long pass to Baker. Left-handed layup up, and he missed an easy one. The rebound, however, comes to Mickey. Back out to Baker. Baker right in the lane. Over to Dunker. Dunker spinning. Dunker's going to have to slow it down a little bit. The Beat Diggers having trouble keeping up with the pace now as a double dribble there by Ben Mickey. So the Beat Diggers now with 5 turnovers, matching Sheridan's total, but luckily the Beat Diggers have got 7 more points in this Sheridan team. It's 13-6 Brush, 2:03 to go. Brayton Thomas back in after a brief breather.
Well, in this rotation, it looks like they're going to try the 2-3 zone on our end of the floor instead of playing man-to-man.
Here comes Kyle Taylor into the front court of the outside right to Chavez. At the top for Cruz. Fakes a 3, and he traveled as he dribbled towards the free throw line. That is 6 turnovers now for Sheridan, which matches the number of points they've scored, and that's not a very good ratio.
Not usually in this game.
Jeffrey Dunker will throw it in 3/4 court in front of the Beat Digger bench. Beat Diggers coached by Ken Garcia. The Rams by Ezekiel Okansi. Here's Garcia into the front court of the high right to Baker. Jump pass to Garcia at the top of the outside left to Dunker, looking down low. Dunker swings it over to Baker, left baseline, turns, shoots a rainbow, partially blocked, and the ball is out of bounds, and that is off of Dunker. It is Sheridan basketball, and that was just forced by Baker on that occasion.
Yeah, I think if they pass the ball like 1 or 2 more times, get Sheridan to shift that zone defense that they're trying to play, get the big guy on one side, then they're going to be able to sneak that in there.
1:33 to go in the opening quarter. Brush 13, Sheridan 6 on the outside left. Cruz with the basketball, looking in the left corner, penetrating as Chavez all the way. Reverse layup is up and no good, and the rebound is controlled over there by Jacob Nichols, his first board. Nichols to Dunker, long pass down low to Garcia, left baseline, taken away over there by Mickey. Back Dunker, left corner Garcia. He'll take the 3. God! Nothing but string. Looked like a hole in the net as Garcia was able to swish that. He's got 5 points. The Beat Diggers with a double-digit lead at 16-6, their biggest advantage so far. On the outside left, Cruz with the basketball. 58 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Over to Chavez on the high right to Taylor. Swings it cross court to Cruz. Cruz with the basketball. Back out to Taylor, guarded by Mickey. Dribbles between his legs. Right corner, Thomas, 16-footer, is well short, and the ball is loose, and it's stripped away and taken away by Jeffrey Dunker of Brush. His first rebound. Here's Baker across the timeline. At the top, guarded by Cruz, swings it left side to Dunker. Dunker dribbles against the defender all the way, scoops it up a little bit too strong, and the rebound's controlled by Kyle Taylor, his third board for Sheridan. Taylor to the front court to Chavez, 16-foot rainbows, an air ball. Rebound to Garcia. Garcia with 4 rebounds. Jump pass to Dunker, 19 seconds to go. Dunker spins right baseline, and we've got a traveling violation on Jeffrey Dunker. 6 turnover for Brush. As Sheridan will have the basketball with 17.5 seconds to go. Keep in mind, all of our audio this season will be on our KSIR B106 channel on YouTube. And once we get to the postseason, we'll have plenty of video as well. 16-6 in favor of Brush. Sheridan might hold for one final shot. Taylor on the outside right to Chavez. 9 seconds to go. At the top to Sierra. Back out to Sierra now after throwing to Taylor. On the outside right to Cruz. Stripped from behind by Dunker. 2 seconds. Dunker all the way. Scoops and it's blocked out of bounds by Jonathan Cruz. And that's the end of the opening quarter after the 7 turnover by Sheridan. We played 8 minutes. Brush 16. Sheridan 6 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. John Beltran, Jen Goodall back from Sheridan High School in Denver. We played 1 quarter. Pretty impressive for the Beat Diggers. Jen, 16-6 in favor of Brush over Sheridan.
It has been pretty impressive. I'm still waiting for him to cut down those turnovers just a little bit in the second quarter as they settle down.
Well, sometimes you don't have to pass so quickly. I know you want to move the ball around, but some of those turnovers, they're just getting rid of the ball too quickly without somebody being open.
Or ball faking would be good.
Correct, right. Sheridan to throw it in. Reggie Cotton to throw it in at midcourt. Bounce pass in the backcourt for Josh Sierra. Out there with Damon Chavez, Brayton Thomas, and Jonathan Cruz. The Beat Diggers with Ray Baker, Free Dunker, Austin Garcia, Kyle Rosenbrock, and Mitch Tormolin. Cotton pressured by Dunker, left of the lane, all the way, scoops it up, and this is fouled. Strong move to the basket by Reggie Cotton. That could be 2, and it is against Captain America, Mitch Tormolin. And he might be taking a seat sometime soon.
Well, and what's going to have to happen, with the guard play, they're going to have to keep those fast little guards for Sheridan out in front. They're not going to be able to let them drive. Otherwise, Mitch is going to be in foul trouble.
Free throw is up and in by the left-hander, Cotton. He's got 2 points. Second free throw upcoming. That is in the air, and that is in. The Beat Digger lead is down to 8. Brush 16, Sheridan 8. The opener of the 2012-2013 Colorado High School basketball season. And we've got plenty of games coming up in December, including a doubleheader on Saturday. That should be a good one. Dunker in the lane, and his shot is blocked into there by Thomas, but taken by Baker in the corner. They reset. Baker then tries to throw it up. It's blocked. Back out to Garcia. 3 in the air, well off to the left. And the ball is loose on the floor, and it's still loose, and it's picked up by Brayton Thomas. Long pass to Cruz. He lays it up, and it's fouled by Rosenbrock. Brayton Thomas with an excellent pass. Jonathan Cruz to the line. And he will shoot 2.
Well, and that's a great adjustment on Sheridan. They're doing the exact same thing to us that we were doing to them. They're releasing one player. Whoever's rotates to the top on defense, they're sending long.
The Cruz free throw is perfect. Hit nothing but string. Jonathan Cruz with 6 of the 9 points for Sheridan. They've begun the quarter on a 3-0 run. Second free throw upcoming for Cruz is up, and that one is perfect. The Beat Digger lead is 16-10. 45 seconds into the second period. Into the front is Cordes Garcia. Back out to Dunker. On the outside left, Dunker guarded by Cotton. Cross-court Garcia takes a dribble. Looking down low, feeds it right baseline to Rosenbrock. Dribbles to his left, back out, bounce pass to Garcia. Right corner for Rosenbrock, down low for Tormolin. Lost the ball, and it's taken away by Jonathan Cruz. The Beat Diggers have committed now 7 turnovers. Cotton all the way, scoops it up, and in! Off the glass, a strong move for Reggie Cotton. 4 in the quarter, 5 in the game. It's a 6-0 run for Sheridan. Brush 16, Sheridan 12, 6:40 to go, second quarter. Dunker on the high right with the basketball, picks up his dribble. Over to Tormolin, he's fouled from behind by Brayton Thomas. He was poked in the eye. Thomas with a second foul. And for Sheridan, that's their 14th foul. The Beat Diggers also have 4. And Garcia to throw it in underneath the basket as Ruben Ortega checks in for Brayton Thomas. So they've gotten one of the big men out of there.
They have. I'm still watching Mitch to see if he can see out of that one eye he got.
Garcia locks it in, but is tipped away by Chavez, taken away by Dunker in the corner. No turnover, cross-court to Rosenbrock. Down low, Garcia turns, shoots, scores. A strong move by Garcia, no hesitation, as he banked it in. And the sophomore's got 7 points. That stops the 6-0 run. And Dunker strips at midcourt. 8 turnover. Long pass to Baker, banks and scores as Baker broke for the basket. Baker now with 4. The Beat Diggers on a 4-0 run. And there's a steal by Garcia in the backcourt. He scoops it off the glass and in. As Sheridan has committed their second turnover in less than 10 seconds. And Garcia now has 9, nearly another steal. Chavez with a basketball. Bounce pass to Cotton. Here's a 3-on-3. Over to Cruz, right baseline. Cruz is falling in a bounce, tries to save it in. Instead throws it away to Randy Baker. Baker spins, and he's got the ball stripped away at midcourt. Cruz long pass out of bounds intended over there for Josh Sierra, and that was a comedy of turnovers there by primarily by Sheridan. The Beat Diggers did have 1 of 4 turnovers there in a 15-second span.
You know, that was a great job. The mistake by Randy was just he had 3 people around him that were running behind him, so that's never a safe thing. So you always want to kind of slow the horses down and wait for somebody to get ahead of you.
In the right corner with the basketball is Rosenbrock looking down low, right baseline, up and under Dunker, and he banks and misses. Rebound, Tormollen goes back up, and he misses, and the rebound, Tormollen, and he is blocked but fouled. The foul is committed by Jonathan Cruz first. And, Jen, these Beat Diggers are grabbing rebounds big time. I mean, unofficially, the Beat Diggers have got 16 rebounds to 4 for Sheridan.
Well, they're hustle plays. I mean, when you rebounding is passion. You have to have the passion to go get it because it is a dirty job. It's hard to get in there and bang around and get hit and still come up with the ball and hang on to the ball and then put it back up. First free throw is good. The second free throw is short. The rebound to Ruben Ortega, only the 5th rebound for Sheridan in the game. Cotton pressure to the backcourt, jump pass tipped away, but taken away by Chavez. Chavez with the basketball just beyond midcourt, bounce pass to Cotton. Cotton into the lane, now left of the lane, down low for Cruz. He banks and scores. Check that, that's Josh Sierra, who was wide open after the Rams had broken the Beat Digger press. 5 minutes to go, second quarter. Brush 23, Sheridan 14. Garcia on the outside right of the corner for Dunker. Fakes a 3, steps in all the way, scoops it up, and around it, no good. The ball is tipped into the hands of Dunker, gets a man in the air, and he scores off the glass. The Beat Diggers getting what Jen calls those 50-50 balls, and right now the 50-50 are like 90-10 in favor of Brush. 25-14 on the outside right is Cruz. Dribbling right baseline, spinning on Tormollen, backs it out to Cotton. Straight away, 3 in the air, good for Reggie Cotton. Cotton has 7 points in the quarter, 8 in the game. The lead is 8 for Brush. 25-17, 4:23 to go before the break. Austin Garcia in the lane all the way. Scoops it down low for Dunker, and he banks and misses. Check at bottom of the rim. He was fouled by Chavez, but I think he might have been fouled before he went up for the shot. And, yeah, he was. He'll be on the floor.
Chavez with a second foul. Garcia and Baker are out. And Ben Mickey and Trey Cranston are in. Or check that as Jake Brown. Rosenbrock out there now. Needens to throw it in right in the basket. Bryce Needens looking. Lobs it back out to Tormollen. Cross court to Cranston. Cranston with the basketball. At the top for Needens to Tormollen. Down low for Brown, and he banks and misses. Brown gets the rebound, tries to get a defender in the air. He's going to dribble it back out. And here's Tormollen. Jump pass down low for Cranston. And his shot is blocked. He gets it back, and he misses. And the rebound is controlled by Jonathan Cruz. The Beat Diggers had their opportunity, but were unable to score. And we had a steal. Who made that shot?
Bryce Needens.
Bryce Needens off a turnover.
I know it's hard to see in that one corner.
Well, no, it's also hard to, I mean, Beat Diggers are coming up with so many rebounds. I've got to write something. Taylor, 3 in the air, is off the back of the rim. The tip is missed by Cruz, and the rebound is controlled by Kyle Rosenbrock. Here come the Beat Diggers with a 27-17 lead. Left of the lane, Cranston, left corner pass, taken by Needens. Here's the shot up and in, and that is from Jay Brown on the left baseline. Yeah, we are partially blocked off. But nonetheless, the Beat Diggers now with a 12-point lead, 29-17. 3:18 to go second quarter. Taylor at the top for Cotton, left of the lane, in the lane, all the way up the glass and in. Reggie Cotton playing a tremendous second quarter with 9 points. He's got 10 in the game, and the Brush lead is down to 10 at 29-19, approaching the 3-minute mark. Cranston just across the baseline to Needens. In the left corner, Rosenbrock down low. A nice cut for Cranston. He banks and scores, and the Beat Diggers getting a lot of easy baskets in this game. Lead 31-19 with 2:50 to go in the second quarter. For the basketball in the backcourt is Taylor. Taylor gets a defender in the air, still in the backcourt to Ortega. Then he throws it away. A bounce pass into the hands of Mitch Tormollen. Here's Trey Cranston down low for Brown. He banks and scores. Jake Brown to the right of the basket. Timeout Sheridan. 2:35 to go second quarter. Brush 33. Sheridan 19. Let's take a break on 1010 KSIR. KSIR.com. The Beat Diggers with a 33-19 lead over the Sheridan Rams with 2:35 to go in the second quarter in a game featuring a frantic pace here in Denver. Kyle Taylor with the basketball in the backcourt. Not pressured this time. One of the few times the Beat Diggers have not pressured. Into the front court is Garrett. Now to Taylor beyond the three-point line. Now to Cotton straight away on the left wing to Jonathan Cruz. Dribbles at the free throw line. Back out to Taylor. Fakes the three. Gets a defender in the air. Kicks it back out to Cruz. Cruz right at the lane all the way. Forces it up and misses, but he's fouled. So that was the appropriate force for him because it was Ben Mickey who committed the foul. And to the line is Jonathan Cruz, who had 5 points in the opening quarter. He's got 7 in the game. And the Beatniggers on an 8-2 run, as Cruz will shoot and miss off the back of the rim. Whether you're in the market to purchase a new or pre-owned vehicle, Ehrlich Toyota East at 1209 Main Street in Fort Morgan will professionally fit you into the car or truck of your choice. Serving all of Northeast Colorado, Ehrlich Toyota East. Second free throws around and good for Jonathan Cruz. He's got 8 points in the game. Brush 33, Sheridan 20. Jen will have a nice breakdown coming up at halftime. I haven't had too much time to talk because of his pace. Needham's right in the lane, all the way, scoops it up. He missed an easy layup, and the rebound taken away by Jonathan Cruz, his third board. Here's Cotton on the outside left, kicks it back out to Cruz. Cruz in the lane, jump pass to Taylor. Wide open right wing three is a brick, but the ball is rebounded by Ortega. Shot blocked out of there by Jacob Nichols. Here is Cruz with another three. That's an air ball headed out of bounds. Taylor tries to save it in, and he does go to Ben Mickey. So the other way. Here come the Beatniggers with a 13-point lead, and Kyle Taylor fouled by Bryce Needens, who did a great job of using his lead to draw the contact by Taylor.
Well, and I don't think Taylor, he got a little bit behind on it. Usually you want to keep him in front of just a step, but I think he misinterpreted Bryce's speed. And that is the 17th foul, 1-and-1 situation for Bryce Needens, who scored 2 points in the opening quarter. The free throw is up and in. And he's got a very easy delivery on that free throw, Jen. Everything he does, even when he's golfing, the swing that he has is...
Yeah, it looks effortless.
Yeah.
Second free throw is up and perfect. Yeah, Bryce Needens could be a special player this year if he just plays the way he's capable of. 35-20, the Beatniggers with their biggest lead with less than 90 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Cruz with the basketball near the top to Reggie Cotton. Cotton against Trey Cranston on the outside left to Sierra. Now to Cruz at the free throw line. He's going to back it out over to Taylor just beyond the timeline. Between his legs is Taylor. Dribbling against Cranston. Now to Cotton. Long three is up and good. Reggie Cotton has been unstoppable for Sheridan. 12 points in the quarter, but it's still a 12-point Beatnigger lead. Bryce Needens in the lane. Lost the basketball. It's loose, and it's still loose on the floor. Needens tries to pick it up, and now we're going to have a jump ball situation, a tie-up between Ortega of Sheridan and Jacob Nichols of Brush. And that's going to stay with the Beatniggers. Needens to throw it in with 58 seconds to go. Needens bounce pass, forced to Nichols, lost it, but now here's Needens with a basketball. Needens bounce pass outside left to Ben Mickey. Now here's a three, and that's up and good. That's Needens, and that was actually nailed by Bryce Needens with that three-pointer. Needens now with 5 in the quarter, 7 in the game. Jump pass down low, goes through everybody out of bounds. The Beatniggers have the basketball, 38-23. They have matched their biggest lead of 15 with 37.8 seconds to go. Brown to throw it in. Brown over to Needens. Bounce pass to Cranston. Cranston just beyond midcourt, approaching the 30-second mark. Cranston back out to Needens. Needens all the way, scoops it up, blocked out of there by Sierra. The ball is loose, taken by Sierra. Long pass, and it's tipped away by Mickey. Boy, a great play by the Beatniggers. Here is Brown out to Cranston. Cranston with the basketball. He's going to hold it with 15 seconds to go. Cross court for Needens with 12. Down low for Mickey, and he scoops and scores off the glass. Mickey got a defender in the air. The other way, here comes Cotton. 4 seconds to go, and then he threw it away intended for Josh Sierra. That's the story of the opening half here for Sheridan. Beatniggers lead by 17 with 2.3 seconds to go. With a shot. Here, there's a baseball pass, intercepted. Here's a long shot that's missed by Sierra beyond midcourt. And that's the end of the opening half after the Beatniggers committed their 9th turnover of the game. With the score, Brush 40, Sheridan 23 at the break. It's a 3-minute break on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Sean Beltran and Jen Goodall back from Sheridan High School in Denver. For the Beatniggers lead the Sheridan Rams 40-25. As we'll begin the second half momentarily. And the ironic thing is that the time has run out. The halftime clock has run out, and Rams are still nowhere to be found. So, and I have never seen this where a public address announcer is calling for the home team to make their way out into the court. It's pretty much simple math, Jen. You got a 10-minute halftime, and you've got to be on the court. And here come the Rams just running through the door. Maybe that's emblematic of what we've seen. A lot of that chaos in the first half. And what that tells me, there's a little bit of either lack of discipline or lack of structure.
Or no one went and told them how much time was left, which is the other thing. Like, I had managers that said, okay, when it hits 3 minutes, come get me if I'm not out yet.
All right, so Sheridan is now on the court. That was pretty quick. Reggie Cotton, Kyle Taylor, along with Jonathan Cruz, Josh Sierra, and Ruben Ortega. Jeffrey Dunker, Kyle Rosenbrock, Austin Garcia, Mitch Tormolin, and Randy Baker for Brush. Sheridan with a basketball. Cotton on the outside right to Taylor. Takes a dribble right in the lane. Double-teamed and traveled. 17 turnovers. Well, they're picking up where they left off.
It looks like they're going to add a little pressure of their own here. It looks like the same thing that they were doing. 1-2-2 press, trying to trap on the sides.
Dunker lobs to Rosenbrock. Rosenbrock at the top, picks up his dribble. Backs out to Garcia on the outside right to Baker, right of the lane. Baker spins, turns, shoots, misses short, and the ball is rebounded by Sierra, his second board. On the outlet to Cotton. Cotton at the top against Austin Garcia. On the outside right, Sierra, right baseline off the hands of Cruz out of bounds. And there is no flow to the Sheridan offense. 2 turnovers in the opening 36 seconds of the third quarter. That is 18 turnovers in the game for Sheridan. Austin Garcia to throw it in with backcourt pressure. Committed to serving those in production ag. Premier Farm Credit is the gold standard in ag lending. Here is Baker, long pass to Rosenbrock, 2-on-1, bounce pass toward Mullen, but now he's double-teamed back out to Dunker. Dunker all the way, scoops it up around and good with the right hand for Jeffrey Dunker. Dunker now has 5 points. The B-Digger lead is 19, their biggest of the night, 42-23. Constant pressure to the backcourt, bounce pass to Taylor. Taylor still in the backcourt, has a strip by Baker, and he goes diving to the floor, picked up by Dunker. Dunker bounce pass to Garcia, banks and scores! Austin Garcia now with 11. Great pass by Jeffrey Dunker. 19 turnovers now for Sheridan unofficially. 44-23. It's a blowout in Denver. 6:43 to go third quarter. Cotton between his legs. Jump pass over to Taylor. Taylor on the outside right, guarded by Dunker. Cross court to Cotton against Austin Garcia. On the outside right to Sierra. Penetrates right baseline, cut off by Rosenbrock. Back out to Taylor. Taylor against Dunker between his legs at the free throw line, spinning back out to Cotton. Cotton with the basketball near the top. B-Diggers in a 2-3 right now. On the outside right to Sierra, bounce pass to Taylor. On the left wing to Cotton, he's picked up by Garcia. Now to Taylor. Taylor on the outside right to Cruz, and he took about 3 steps there, an easy traveling call. And right now, Jen, this is a big fat mess for Sheridan.
It is, but he had the right lane. Like he found the seam in the zone that was presented by us, and that was the right move. He just got his feet going faster than his hand put the ball.
For the best prices and special offers on top quality car parts and accessories, visit Central Auto Parts 1001. West Platte Avenue in Fort Morgan, approaching the 6-minute mark of the third. B-Diggers 44, Sheridan Rams 23. On the outside right is Dunker. Dunker against Taylor. Jump pass to Garcia. Left wing 3 is short. Ball headed out of bounds, and Baker cannot chase it down. Rams basketball. The B-Diggers have scored the first 4 points in the third quarter, holding a 21-point advantage. Taylor in the backcourt, pressured by Dunker. Back out to Cotton. Cotton in midcourt, dribbles by Austin Garcia, now backs it out on the outside right. He'll take a long 3, and that's well short. And the ball is rebounded, though, by Jonathan Cruz. Bounce pass to Ortega. Ortega turns back out to Taylor. 3 in the air is off the back of the rim, and Jeffrey Dunker has the rebound for the B-Diggers. The other way, here comes Brush. Here is Dunker, right of the lane, between his legs, scoops it down low to Rosenbrock, turns, bangs, scores! That was a hard pass, too. And Rosenbrock now has 6 in the game. B-Diggers 6:23. Here's Sierra, cross-court pass to Cotton. Near that left corner, Cotton's going to have to back it out to Taylor. Well, we've played nearly 3 minutes, and Sheridan has not scored here in this third quarter. Taylor in the lane between his legs, backs it out to Sierra. He'll take the long shot. That's good. That's a 3 for Josh Sierra. He's got 5. 4:55 to go in the third quarter. Brush 46, Sheridan 26. On the outside right is Rosenbrock with the basketball. Cross-court pass to Garcia. Back out to Dunker. Dunker takes a dribble. Jump pass down low for Baker. Now to Rosenbrock, right wing three, and air ball. And Sierra has the basketball stolen by Rosenbrock. We're back to scores. Rosenbrock anticipated beautifully as Sierra threw it away. It's a 22-point lead for Brush. 48-26, 4.5 to go in the third. Baseball pass cross-court to Cotton. Left baseline. Here is Jonathan Cruz. Bounce pass down low. And take it away. Stolen by Dunker. That's 6 turnovers in the quarter. Here's Dunker in the lane. Scoops it up off the glass and in. And a foul. And Dunker to the line to try and complete the three-point play. The foul was committed by Kyle Taylor. That's his second. When Dunker was in the junior varsity ranks, and even last year as a varsity player, sometimes he could almost be too selfish or too unselfish, I should say,
right.
pass the ball. Now he realizes he's an offensive threat, and he's got to take shots in there. He could have easily passed it, but he decided, I'm going to take it to the lane and draw the contact, and he did beautifully. Now Dunker to the line, and the Beatniggers. And he converts, and that, it says 49-26. But that basket counted. It should be 51-26. That score is incorrect over there. With the basketball is Taylor. On the outside right, Cotton three in the air, and that is no good. And the ball is hit out of bounds. And they should correct that score. They've got to correct that score. That should be 51-26.
Yeah, the score is incorrect.
And let's see, was thrown in and intercepted. Dunker intercepts the pass intended for Taylor. And then it's re-intercepted by Taylor. Into the front court, Taylor all the way, scoops it up around, no good. And the ball is tipped around and it's into the hands of Ortega. Ortega with the basketball. Now that shot is missed over there by Sierra. And we've got a tie-up in the back court between Brayton Thomas and Jake Brown. That should be 51-26. It says 40. They never gave Dunker, even though he made a free throw after converting it. Well, I can't believe people don't spot that. I mean, we can spot it from here. Cross-court pass to Cranston. Cranston left to the lane, pulls up a little 10-footer. A short rebound to Cranston, scoops it up and in.
Now they got it.
For Trey Cranston, well, now he just scored. Should be 53. Now it's still incorrect. They got to add 2 more points. Here's Tyler in the lane, gets Tormolen in the air and a foul. Tormolen commits his third. Now they got it up 53-26. And Kyle Taylor to shoot 2. Yeah, I'm sorry, Jen. That just drives me insane. I mean, it's simple mathematics.
No, not the scoreboard being wrong.
Well, I mean, well, why keep score if you're not going to have it accurate the whole time? The Taylor free throw is up and in. And somebody in the Brush bench has got to notice that. You know, especially if it goes against you. I mean, you've got to point that out. And Damon Chavez checks into the game for Ruben Ortega. I mean, to me, there should be somebody, because I've seen this in the past, on both sides, somebody should be monitoring that score after every point, not just us. Second free throw to be attempted by Taylor is up and in. Taylor scores for the first time in the game, and the Beatniggers, who've led by as many as 27, now lead by 25, 53-28. Tormolen, with his third foul, is out of the game. And Ben Mickey checks in, out there with Jacob Nichols, Bryce Needens, Trey Cranston, and the fifth member out there is Jake Brown. With the basketball is Nichols. Bounce pass back out to Needens. Scoops it down low to Brown, and he missed, but he's fouled. That was a great pass. Oh, phenomenal. That was a no-look. And that foul was committed, looked like, by Josh Sierra. And that would be his first. Stop, shop, and save with all of your grocery needs and snacks for game time enjoyment. Brush Grocery Cart at 1302 West Edison Street in Brush. And Brush's local Napa and Hardware Hanks and Small Engine Repair Shop is Hometown Auto and Hardware. Stop by and let them help you at 1305 Edison Street as the Brown free throw is short. He's got 4 points in the game. Beatniggers lead, and now they've messed up the score again. Now it's at 51-30 and now 52-30. That's a disgrace. I'm sorry. I mean, they've got the score wrong again. And in fact, they've only got 28.
So they put it on the wrong side.
Yeah. Now with the basketball, right baseline intended for Thomas, intercepted by Trey Cranston. Yeah, that score is all messed up. And here it's re-intercepted by Reggie Cotton. Cotton all the way, banks it up and in. Yeah, they got to get that score right. That's a mess up there. I mean, they've got the score completely wrong. It says 52-32 on the left baseline. Ben Mickey with the basketball, back out to Cranston. 2:38 to go. And our score is much different now than the score on the scoreboard. Turning, shooting, and missing is Jake Brown from 10 feet away. And the rebound is controlled by Damon Chavez. Into the front court is Taylor. On the outside right to Sierra. Right of the lane, had the ball stripped. It's loose on the floor. Picked up by Sierra. Back out to Chavez. Chavez spinning back out to Taylor. Yeah, that is the wrong score. Taylor with the basketball. On the outside right to Chavez. Chavez right baseline, and there's a foul committed by Ben Mickey. All right, the actual score should be 30 for Sheridan. 54-30 should be the score. 54-30 and not 52-32. This is just ridiculous. 54-30 should be the score. 24-point lead. And they've got two the wrong way. So let's see if they clear that up. Yeah, they've got 52-32, and let's see. All right, anyway, timeout brought to you by Greg Mullen of the State Farm Insurance. Let the State Farm Insurance office of Greg Mullen in Brush help you find the best policy to fit your life. Home, auto, life, health. State Farm Insurance is here for you and your family. Give Greg Mullen a call, 842-4555. And let's see if they get this right. I mean, come on. Simple math. This is the only time you'll hear me vehemently complain like this. Damon Chavez to throw it in. On the outside right to Cotton. Cotton with the basketball beyond the three-point line. It shows 52-32, and there's about four people at the scores table trying to get this right. Hopefully nobody scores now. Taylor, three is up and no good, and the rebound is controlled over there by Jake Brown, his second board of the game. Minute 53 to go, and there's a foul in the front court as Reggie Cotton commits the foul on Bryce Needens for Cotton. That's his first. Yeah.
Well, and even if they have it screwed up, they're going to go by the official scorebook. They're going to go by what they have.
For the basketball is Cranston. Cranston down low for Needens. He's double-teamed. Has a shot blocked out of bounds by Brayton Thomas. Speeddiggers retain possession. To throw it in is Cranston. Cranston with the basketball in the right corner. Needens three in there is going to be an air ball and taken away by Sierra. Sierra with the basketball. Into the front court is Taylor. Taylor between his legs. Cross court over to Cotton. The other top to Taylor. Taylor between his legs on the outside left to Cotton. Penetrates left baseline all the way. Scoops it up and he's fouled. And that looked like Jacob Nichols committed the foul. For Nichols, that's his first. Well, you know, I'm not going to go by that. I mean, I'm already... we keep individual numbers here. How can they not do the numbers? I mean, we can clarify between court free throw is short for Reggie Cotton, not happy with himself. I mean, they've only scored 7 points in the court. It's not like about 24 points here.
Well, and it got screwed up when Jeffrey was going to the free throw line. So
right, and the second free throw's off the back of the rim, and that is controlled by Jacob Nichols. That's his second board, unofficially. Bryce Needens with the basketball, dribbling in the lane. Needens jump step and looked like he was fouled on the drive to the basket. Reggie Cotton commits his second. To throw it in will be Needens. Needens down low for Cranston, up and under, scoops it up and misses, and the rebound controlled by Ben Mickey. He kicks it back out to Needens, three in the air, and we got a foul on the miss. You going to say foul him on the floor?
Yep. It was after the shot.
Yeah, Brayton Thomas commits the foul. And to throw it in will be Bryce Needens, still out of 1-on-1 situation. There's Ben Mickey with a basketball check. That's Brown back out to now Mickey. Left corner three is off the back of the rim. Rebound to Needens. Needens will back it out. The jump pass is thrown away, however, to Taylor. And Taylor by himself will lay it up and in. Speeddiggers commit their 12th turnover. Now with the basketball in the backcourt is Mickey. Back out to Cranston. Cranston bounce pass in the front court to Needens. 45 seconds to go in the third. On the outside left to Cranston. Cranston dribbles left baseline all the way, scoops it up, and he missed an easy layup. And Thomas is tied up by Needens on the rebound. And it's going to be possession arrow going to Sheridan. But Sheridan has scored 9 points in the quarter, but somehow have 34 points. I'm just going to have to get off this soapbox because seriously, it's embarrassing. You can't keep score. Get away from the scores table. Taylor's fouled on the floor, and let's see the beat digger who committed the foul. And that's going to be Trey Cranston as first. So our number has a 54-32 on the board. It's 52-34, and they couldn't even clarify that. Cotton to throw it in. Bounce pass right baseline to Cruz, kicks it back out, and he threw it away, intended for Sierra. And that's 9 turnovers for the second straight quarter for Sheridan. Oh, I'm going to see if we can clarify it ourselves from here. With the basketball is Jake Brown. Over to Cranston. 22 seconds to go. Cranston is stripped, but was he fouled?
No.
No, the ball was kicked. It'll stay with the beat diggers. And to throw it in will be Needens in front of the beat digger bench. Over to Cranston, just beyond midcourt. With the basketball is Cranston. Back out to Jake Brown. Brown utilizing a pick. Spinning on Taylor, left to the free throw line, left to the lane, jump past Needens. Left corner three is off the side of the backboard. Long rebound, it's loose in the backcourt, and now a tie-up between Cotton of Sheridan and Brown of Brush. They're going to see Sheridan, and Cotton is going to be called for traveling. Or who's called for, yeah. Well, it looked like they both had the ball together. Long baseball pass, and it's thrown away. And that's the end of the third quarter. A mess on the scoreboard with the score. Brush 54, Sheridan 32. And, yeah, has time expired here? It should have expired. This is 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. John Beltran with Jen Goodall as we start the fourth. A foul called on Sheridan. Beat Diggers lead 54-32 on our sheet, 52-34 on the board. We're going to stick with what we have because we've got the accurate numbers here, and now even the book is a little bit bewildered over there. Garcia down low for Rosenbrock, and he banks and scores to the left of the basket. Beat Diggers now lead 56-32. Yeah, I'm going to have to keep my own score. I mean, it's embarrassing that they can't keep score. The ball is tipped away. Here's Taylor into the front court. In the right corner with the basketball is Cotton. Cotton to his left. Cross-court pass is taken by Sierra. Now to Chavez. Chavez in the lane tries to scoop it up, and the ball is taken out of there by Mitch Tormolen on that pass. And Dunker with the basketball, then he throws it away into the hands of Taylor. Taylor now nearly stripped in the backcourt. A very sloppy game, especially by Sheridan. 27 turnovers, and we're still early in the fourth. With the basketball cross-court to Taylor in the right corner. Taylor down low for Chavez, double team, back out to Sierra, now to Taylor, three in the air, off the back of the rim, and the ball is tipped around, and Chavez tries to save it in, and he does to Sierra, who misses the shot. Tormolen comes away with the basketball. Here comes Tormolen for the Beat Diggers. Over to Dunker. Dunker right of the lane, spinning, turning, shooting, blocked out of there. Tormolen tries to tip it to himself and does to Baker. Baker's 10-footer is short. Rebound Tormolen. He banks and scores. Boy, Tormolen with a few rebounds in a short stretch. He's got 5 points in the game. Beat Diggers now lead. Let's see, 58-32. Here's a steal. Baker to Garcia. Garcia left of the lane, back out to Rosenbrock. Rosenbrock takes a dribble. He banks and scores, and he's fouled by Chavez. Rosenbrock to the line, and Rosenbrock has got 12 points in the game, 60-32 Brush. Jen Goodall, what do you got to say about this?
I probably shouldn't say anything because I'm fired up about it too. I mean, if you're right when we talked about the half, or at break there, if there's a comeback at all, that could make a huge difference.
Well, there's not going to be a comeback now, but still, that score is incorrect, and the free throw's up and in. And I apologize to the listeners. You could be sick of me saying this, but Come on, it's simple mathematics. And now it's 61-32 under our book. And here's the left baseline shot and missed. An offensive foul as Josh Sierra ran into, I believe, either Dunker or Garcia along that baseline for Sierra. That's his second foul. So the board's got the Beatnickers with a 25-point lead. We've got it with a 29. At this point, it's academic as Brooks has got this game with 5:53 to go. Here's Garcia over to Tormolen. Left baseline shot is an air ball, and it's taken away by Rosenbrock. Rosenbrock back out to Dunker. Dunker in the lane. Scoops up and in. Strong move to the lane by Jeffrey Dunker. Timeout Sheridan. 5:41 to go. The Beatnickers have begun the fourth quarter on a 9-0 run. Brush 63, Sheridan 32 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. John Beltran, Jen Goodall back in Denver. The Beatnickers have a 63-32 lead over the Sheridan Rams with 5:41 to go. The Beatnickers have scored the first 9 points of this fourth quarter. And they have pasted this team. They've embarrassed them on their home court, Jen.
Yeah, but I like a lot of the things that we're doing so far. Hopefully they can keep that up with Akron on Saturday.
Cotton with the basketball. Back out to Chavez. Chavez near the top to Taylor. On the outside left to Reggie Cotton. Over to Taylor. On the outside right to Chavez. Fakes the three. In the baseline. Down low to Cruz. And he misses the shot off the bottom of the net. Austin Garcia comes away with the basketball. Then he's stripped but taken away by Dunker beyond midcourt. Dunker with the basketball will slow it down. The Beatnickers lead on our book by a 63-32 count, a 31-point lead. Rosenbrock at the top to Tormolen, down low. Baker turns, and he did travel. Should be a traveling violation against Randy Baker before he put up the show, and they're going to call him for an elbow, an offensive foul. And that's still a turnover either way for the Beatnickers, only their 15th. Baker commits his first personal as we approach the 5-minute mark of the game. And the Beatnickers holding a healthy lead. Here's Baker with a steal, a 2-on-2. He's going to back it out. Baker with a steal at midcourt. We've said that a lot, a steal, and now we got a traveling violation on Baker. The Beatnickers have committed 16 turnovers now in the game. 29 for Sheridan. That's over 1 per minute right now.
Yeah, they're not looking real crisp, and I don't think they know what to do with the size of our guards.
Taylor with the basketball near the top against Dunker. Well, you mentioned in pregame, Chen, that Rush is very tall on the outside. Ortega stripped by Garcia, but they're going to say Garcia committed the foul. And for Garcia, that's going to be his first.
And now, because they've got some of the stuff, they need to take a step back. And yes, you want to play aggressive, but you also have to play smart at the end of the game.
And let's see to throw it in. Will be Jonathan Cruz over to Taylor. Taylor into the lane, gets a defender in the air, and he scoops it up and misses the shot for the rebound. Jonathan Cruz, he's fouled from behind. That'll be a 1-and-1 situation. 17th foul. The Beatnicker foul was committed by Kyle Rosenbrock. And Cruz will go to the line to try to rebound. Now, Cruz scored 8 points in the opening half, but held in check. In fact, even though the scoreboard says differently, they've been held to 9 points in 12 minutes of basketball, and the free throw is off to the right by Cruz. And the Beatnickers cannot chase it down. Cruz has it, and he misses that shot, and the ball is tipped around into the hands of Rosenbrock. Rosenbrock with the basketball over to Dunker. Dunker into the front court. 4:18 to go. Long pass is tipped to the bounce by Taylor, intended for Tormolen. Beatnicker basketball with 4:17 to go in the game. Brush 63, and Sheridan 32. Garcia to throw it in. Bounce pass, left baseline, Tormolen turns, banks, misses, tip off. Oh, what a tip by Rosenbrock off the glass. Well, that's certainly an athletic play, Jen.
That was a very athletic play.
And the other way, Cruz all the way for the layup. The Beatnickers fell asleep for one of the few times tonight defensively. 65-34 in favor of Brush. 3:55 to go in the game. Baker with the basketball on the outside right. Baker gets a pick from Tormolen, dribbles into the lane. Baker all the way. Boy, he's stuffed out of there by Cruz and taken by Cotton. Cotton ahead of the field draws the foul as he will go to the line. Foul committed by Jeffrey Dunker. And Dunker with his first. Reggie Cotton to shoot 2. Well, Cotton's been contained. He had 13 points in the opening half, 12 in the second quarter. Leather jackets, T-shirts, and more. Stop by 302 Main Street in Fort Morgan for all of your sports apparel. At Bijoutique Quest, first free throw is no good. And Northeastern Colorado's locally owned hometown savings and loan, is Equitable Savings and Loan in Fort Morgan and Brush. Second free throws around and good for Reggie Cotton. He's got 16 in the game. 65-35 Brush. 3:38 to go. Sedens is bodied up by Ortega. For Ortega, that could be a second foul. So to the line is Bryce Needens with a 1-and-1. 17 foul committed by Sheridan. With 3:38 to go in the game, and the Beat Diggers up by 20. Or check that, by 30. Free throw is up, and that's high off the back of the rim and in, but there is a lane violation. No lane violation. It hit off the wiring. Isn't that what the...
Yep.
So the free throw just no good.
Right.
All right, Chavez with the basketball near the top on the outside right to Cotton. Cotton to his left. Check that. That's Taylor. Now to Chavez, dribbling right baseline and a foul. 18 foul. That foul's committed by Jake Brown. And should be Damon Chavez to the line. I'm not sure why he's positioning to inbound, so he should be on the line, and he will be. The Beat Diggers are still up by 30. Look to the team at Valley View for rehab, short-term or long-term care needs. At 8:15, Fremont. Free throws off the back of the rim, and the ball is tipped out of bounds by Sheridan. Call them at 867-8261. And your one-stop center for projects around your home, office, or yard, Ackley Building Center. And they now carry appliances. Ackley Building Center, 1402 Mill Street in Brush. With the basketball is Cranston. Now to Ben Mickey. In the backcourt to Baker. Baker across the timeline, bodied up and fouled by Taylor. That'll be the 18th foul, and for Taylor, his third personal. Randy Baker to the line. Shoot the 1-and-1. Jen, we know the Beat Diggers got plenty of depth.
They do, and they're going to need it when it gets down to the end of the season here. I mean, that
because
plays
they're
big.
playing hard.
Yep, that plays big. When you have no reason to hold anything back for energy-wise, that makes a big difference in what you can do on the floor while you're on it.
Correction, that was the 10th team foul, so 2 free throws for Baker. He misses the first. Brayton Thomas back into the game for Sheridan. 26-point lead on the board. We've got it at 30 at 65-35. Second free throw is short as well. Ball is tipped around into the hands of Josh Sierra, his 5th rebound unofficially. Here's Kyle Taylor back out to Reggie Cotton. Fakes it 3 steps in, and then has the ball stripped away and taken away by Mickey. And that is turnover number 30 for Sheridan. Needens, right wing, 3, up, missed by Baker. Rebound to Brown, 10-footer is around and good on the left baseline for Jake Brown. The Beat Digger lead is now 67-35. They're up by 32. Here's Taylor, right corner, 3 is up, and that is in and out. And the ball is tipped to Cruz. He dribbles, banks, shoots, misses, and a foul. Cruz to the line. And now I'm not sure who committed that foul for the Beat Diggers. Nonetheless, Cruz to the stripe.
Cruz only one close to him was Randy Baker, so that's my guess.
2 free throws. Cruz with 10 points tonight. Free throw is up and in for Jonathan Cruz. Second free throw upcoming. 67-36, a 31-point Brush lead. And that one is up, and that's perfect for Jonathan Cruz, who's got 4 in the quarter, 12 in the game. Approaching the 2.5-minute mark, here's Cranston front court all the way, scoops it up and in. A beautiful floater for Trey Cranston. Boy, nearly uncontested. Cotton the other way, over to Sierra. Left baseline shot up, no. A tip by Cruz is missed. And the rebound by Bryce Needens. Beat Diggers come the other way, whistle, and in the backcourt we have a foul.
Bryce Needens.
So the Beat Diggers, after committing the turnover and committing the foul as well, and now Reggie Cotton at the line. Free throw is up and in. Double bonus for Sheridan. to 40 on the board. We've got 69-38, and that free throw is short. And the ball is tipped around into the hands of Brayton Thomas. Taking the three is Cruz all the way, scoops it up and in for Cruz. Well, now they're putting up some numbers here. 69-40 is what we've got. Here's Trey Cranston on the left baseline, spinning. Cranston back out to Ben Mickey. Mickey against Thomas. 2 minutes to go from Denver. Bryce Needhams with a basketball behind his back at the free throw line, left of the lane. Runs into Cruz. That should be a defensive foul. It is on Cruz. That'll be a second. Bryce Needhams, double bonus, will be at the stripe. And Jen and I will have a Beat Digger player of the game following the contest as well. Stubbs Gas and Oil at I-76 and Highway 39 in Wiggins. Don't delay and get there to see why convenience is Stubbs' middle name. It's Stubbs Gas and Oil. Free throw is in. And Jen gets 70 points in the game. Pretty impressive. 40 in the opening half and 30 so far here in the second.
Well, especially in a first game where there's jitters and everything else. Usually you don't see that.
Second one is good. It's 71-40 Beat Diggers. If you see it differently on Max Preps or Denver Post, trust me, we've got the right score here. Kyle Taylor with the basketball. Back out to Cotton. Straight away three is off the back of the rim. And the ball is tipped into the hands of Sierra. His runner's up. And that is no good. Ball is tipped around. Volleyballed into the hands of the Beat Diggers, I believe. That might have been Victor Lopez. Let's see who has the basketball. No, the foul was committed by Lopez, a brush. His first. And to the line will be Kyle Taylor. Again, double bonus here for Sheridan. Free throw is up, and that is in and out. Second free throw upcoming. And again, I apologize for raving and ranting about the scoreboard, but it is simple mathematics, and we have the numbers here to prove it, that mistakes were made there. Willow Coffee Tea and Smoothies, serving you the best coffees, lattes, and smoothies. Second free throw is around and in for Kyle Taylor. He's got 5 points in the game at 921 Edison Street in Brush. Open 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. to better serve you. Willow Coffee Tea and Smoothies, a minute 30 to go. Brown with the basketball, stripped by Jonathan Cruz. Cruz is ahead of the field, and he tried to slam it. He missed, but he was fouled by Brown from behind. Now the Beat Diggers getting a tad sloppy here in the waning moments, but they do have a 30-point lead. With a minute 25 to go, Jonathan Cruz is in this one of these games, Jen, you just want to get out of here at this point.
It is, and it's for the players as well. Like, you know, you
don't want to get hurt.
You don't want to get hurt, and they also have a game on Saturday, so fatigue is, I mean, yeah, they're deep, but still a factor.
We'll have the doubleheader. Yep. Against Akron, 2:30 for the girls, 4 o'clock for the boys in Brush. Second free throw is in, 1 out of 2 for Jonathan Cruz, who's got 7 points in the quarter, 15 in the game, 71-42 Brush. Into the front court with the basketball, the scoop, and that is missed. And the rebound to Brown, he misses. Victor Lopez has it blocked, and it's taken away by Taylor. Here comes Sheridan the other way. The Beat Diggers have a player out there. I got to see if I got him on the roster. Cruz cross-court pass, and the shot is missed. A 15-footer taken over there by Ruben Vitale. Ball is controlled, though, by Jonathan Cruz off the rebound. His 10th, and the three-pointer's up, and that's missed by Brandon Gonzalez. And the ball is knocked out of bounds either by Taylor or Cruz, and that will be Brush basketball as a mess took place on the other side with 50.6 seconds to go. Beat Diggers up 71-42. Let's see who that is for the Beat Digger. Oh, that's Pablo Gutierrez. Yeah,
Pablo.
Boy, he's pretty quick.
He is very quick.
The ball was just thrown away in the front court. And that is turnover number 19 for Brush. 44.5 seconds to go. And here comes Reggie Cotton. Right corner for Gonzalez. Back out to Cruz. Right baseline. Took a jump step. Looked like he walked. Missed the shot. Ball is tipped around into the hands of Gonzalez, and he banks and misses. Ball is tipped around once, twice, 3 times, and it's finally into the hands of Jake Brown. Beat Diggers with the basketball in the backcourt. Here's Pablo Gutierrez. Cross midcourt. Long pass down low for Mickey. Mickey left baseline. Turns, shoots. Misses short. Rebound to Taylor. And Taylor, I believe, is fouled in the backcourt. Don't need to foul with a huge lead. No, unless it was just knocked out of bounds. And it was. So it will be Sheridan basketball. This will be their final possession. Beat Diggers leading 71-42. Gonzalez bounce pass right baseline, back out to Gonzalez. The three in the air is an air ball. Victor Lopez is the rebound for the Beat Diggers. Long pass to Mickey. Mickey scoops it up and he misses the layup. And the ball is tipped to Gutierrez with 1 second to go. And Gutierrez has a shot blocked by Cotton. And the game is over. The final score, unofficially tonight, even though we're going to make it official from here, Brush, 71. And Sheridan, 42. We'll take a 1-minute break on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.
I was going to say Dunker just because he ran.
John Beltran, Jen Goodall, back from Sheridan High School in Denver. All right, let's take another break. We're having some issues here. We'll take another break. We'll come back with a recap of tonight's game with the Beat Diggers winning 71-42. We're back in 1 minute right after this on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. John Beltran back as we welcome you to the Beat Digger post-game show brought to you by Buildings by Design and Brush, which takes pride in their workmanship and quality of their relationships with clients. For a free bid, call Pat Walter, 842-5837. Building today's business. Buildings by Design as the Beat Diggers win this game handily, 71-42 over the Sheridan Rams in Denver. We'll go through the numbers momentarily. Yeah, there was a mess up there on the scoreboard, but that's why I've got 71-40 opposed to the 69-44. 2 points were given for Sheridan, and we clarified this about 4 or 5 times. Okay. And I know our numbers are right as I'm joined by head coach Ken Garcia. Coach, I mean, I thought what your team did in this game, especially offensively, and I know you played during the summer, but you're scoring 70 points in game 1 of the season, the varsity season, against a team that won 16 games a year ago. I think you pretty much maybe exceeded expectations tonight. How did you see it, especially with the flow of your offense, even though the defense did create plenty of offense as well for your team?
Yeah, I thought we played a good full-court game. It wasn't just the offense of things, but we were passing the ball well, we were moving well, and being the first game of the year, I can't ask the kids to do any more than that. We missed a few shots inside too, so I thought the kids played hard, and I was really proud of them tonight.
Do you have to be as physical as you were tonight? And I don't mean physical in a bad way, but obviously in an aggressive way throughout the course of the season, knowing that you could be undersized many games, but with the way your team rebounded tonight, it looked like you were undersized.
Yeah, we'll come up against some big kids, and I told the kids all summer long and in practice, I said, it's not about how tall you are, it's about how hard you want the ball. And, you can get position on a bigger guy, and we got some kids who can jump, and, they work hard at it, their physical abilities, so we don't have the size, but we can certainly work on the other things that are going to make us productive and get rebounds.
What about the depth of this team? Because you went basically with about a 10-man rotation, and 9 of those scored in the opening half, and it seems that when you have that many in the scoring column, it's just the opposing team doesn't know who to defend.
Right, and I told the kids before the game in the last couple of weeks, I said, you guys are making this hard on me because I can only pick 5 of you to start. I said, there's 10 of you that deserve to start, and I'd start all 10 of you if I could, but I got to start 5. And so I wanted to see different combinations. I started, and we put the kids in, and then we rotated another 5 set in, and I just, being the first game, I just don't know what to expect and what the kids are going to do. So I wanted to rotate them and get them in, but yeah, we've got some depth, and it certainly makes it makes it hard for me to choose the 5. But then I also know that, we've got people on the bench that are going to come in, and they're going to be productive, and you've got to like that.
I mean, you should never be tired, right, as a player, because it seems that these rotations are pretty even, and, we didn't see any player winded out there. And, of course, you had plenty of energy leading by 15, 20, 25, even 30 points throughout the course of the game, but when you're constantly rotating players, it seems that nobody should ever be tired.
Right, and that's what we want to do. We want to play a full-court game, and I know we've got people on the bench, so if I see somebody getting tired, we've got people to rotate in, and we can continue to play a full-court game, and we're going to need that down the road as we get into the Patriot League. It's a tough Patriot League, so we're going to need everybody to be playing well. And so we're going to rotate them in, and they're going to get their playing time, and they're going to show us, what they can do. And we've got about 10 players who could start, and I love that.
All right, finally, Ken, what are you expecting Saturday out of an Akron team that is ranked in Class 2A. I mean, your team's not ranked in 3A, but certainly you're playing like you should be a ranked team. But I know coaches really don't care about that. What you do care about is that you have a solid opponent coming up on Saturday, a very athletic team that you'll have to defend just as well as you did tonight against Sheridan.
Well, you're right. Akron's got a good team, and it's going to be tough for us. But like I said, I think that we're playing a style of basketball that suits us. And, as long as we're doing that and as long as we're being effective with what we're trying to do with our athletes, it doesn't matter who we play. We're going to continue to work hard, and we're going to continue to do the things that we think are going to make us productive and give us the best opportunity to win.
Ken, congratulations on a Game 1 victory. Very impressive. It was fun to watch.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Head basketball coach Ken Garcia to beat the Sheridan Rams tonight convincingly, 71-42. Beatnickers led 24-17 in the second for a 40-23 lead, 14-9 in the third to go up 54-32, then 17-10 in the fourth to win the game 71-42. We're going through the numbers here as we speak. First of all, the Beatnickers got 15 points tonight from Kyle Rosenbrock, 11 from Austin Garcia, 10 from Jeffrey Dunker, 9 points for Bryce Needens, 8 for Trey Cranston, 7 points for Jake Brown, and then 5 points for Mitch Tormolin, 4 from Randy Baker, and 2 points from Ben Mickey. As for Sheridan, they got 17 points in the game from Reggie Cotton, 15 for Jonathan Cruz, 5 apiece for Kyle Taylor and Josh Sierra. The rebounding totals, the Beatnickers had 38-30 for Sheridan. Sheridan did hit the boards harder in the second half. They had 10 from Jonathan Cruz. Beatnickers was a 38. They had 7 in the game from Mitch Tormolin, 7 from Kyle Rosenbrock. Now, looking at the free throw shooting situation, the Beatnickers certainly were struggling at the break, hitting only 50%. They were 4 of 8, and in the second half, they were able to go 5 out of 9. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 5 out of 9. So the Beatnickers finishing the game 9 out of 17, so barely above 50% for the line. And Sheridan was able to nail their free throws for the most part. They were 8 out of 14, 8 out of 16. They struggled in the second half, so they finished 14 out of 24 for Sheridan, so well over 50%. Obviously, the Beatnickers win their opener with a solid effort. Jen, time to name the Beatnicker Player of the Game, brought to you by T.O. Charlie, 700 West Platte Avenue in Fort Morgan. They will not be beat by anyone when it comes to price. They'll help you find a car that fits your needs and budget. If you don't see what you want, T.O. Charlie's will find it for you. Log on to TOCharliesFTM.com to view inventory, current price, and apply for a loan online. Drive away with confidence at T.O. Charlie's. Jen, the Player of the Game is and why?
I think it should be for Dunker just because of how he handled the different aspects that Sheridan throwed, whether it was fast, whether he got double, triple teamed, or he was going in for the layup, driving, he was rebounding, he was picking the ball away from him, doing well on the press. So I think it was a good all-around game for him.
Yeah, he was in double figures in scoring. As you mentioned, he had a number of steals. He had a number of assists. He got in there to rebound as well, so he might have had the best overall game, right, even though some other players had more points and more rebounds. So congratulations to Jeffrey Dunker, the Beatnicker Player of the Game, all brought to you by T.O. Charlie's. We'll be talking to you again on Saturday at 2:30. Doubleheader. The Brush girls will entertain the Akron Rams, and then the Brush boys play at 4 o'clock against Akron as well, right here on 1010, as well as KSIR.com. Outstanding job done, engineer, producer Trenton Klimper. For Jen Goodall, I'm John Beltran. Nuggets and Golden State Warriors coming up in just a couple of minutes. The final score again tonight from Denver. Brush 71, Sheridan 42, right on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.